Hey there, welcome back to Embodied Astrology. My name is Renee, if we haven't met before. It is Scorpio season, and oh my gosh, this season is bringing so much water. It's really quite a deluge, and I think a lot of folks are going to have a lot going on this season, so I really hope that these readings are supportive for you and whatever you have going on. Remember that horoscopes are general readings, so they may not resonate fully for everyone or with everything. Make sure to take what works and leave the rest, and also make sure to listen to readings differently for your different placements. My readings are for your sun, moon, and rising signs, and they are going to be most accurate for rising signs. But I will say that if you have a late degree rising, like 20 to 30 degrees of the zodiac sign your ascendant is in, you might also want to listen to the reading for the sign that follows yours. Just give it a try, see if it speaks to you. Okay, so some of you know that I took a break over the summer and fall, which meant that I pre-recorded Gemini through Libra season. That was the last 4 months of readings back in June. And now my break is over and I'm back. And I will tell you that taking a break from my usual rhythms and shaking up the schedules in my life was an excellent choice. It allowed me space and perspective and rest, and I feel refreshed and excited to read for you again. And this is a great thing because I'm also about to start working on one of my favorite annual projects, which is my year ahead readings. I've been doing year ahead readings now for 6 years, and every time it is such a powerful experience for me to map out the astrology of the upcoming 12 months, meditate with that map for each of the signs, and work with readings that incorporate embodiment, meditation, and visualization with all kinds of other things like forecasting and practical advice for making the most of the opportunities and working skillfully with the challenges. So if you love my readings, this is your chance to pre-order your 2026 year ahead at a discount for the entirety of Scorpio season. That's October 22nd till November 21st. When you purchase 2 annual readings, you can get a 3rd reading free. And this is great news if you have different sun, moon, and rising signs, and also great news if you have astro lovers in your life and you're looking for a cute gift to share. This sale won't last, and as of Sagittarius season, the readings will go back to their normal price, so make sure to take advantage now and click the link in the show notes to pre-order 2026 readings for all your signs. All right. So I'm going to take a quick break for ads. Thank you for your patience. Ads help me pay the bills and keep me offering free content like these readings. So you know how to fast forward. And if you want to support my work and help me do more of what I do, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and consider leaving a tip. And definitely stick around. Your Scorpio season reading is coming up next. Hello Capricorn, welcome to Scorpio season. We enter into Scorpio season on October 22nd, and the day that Scorpio season begins, we also begin the next Mercury retrograde phase. Now, as you may know, Mercury retrogrades include 3 parts. There is a beginning, middle, and an end. The middle of a Mercury retrograde is when it actually appears that Mercury is traveling the other way of its normal. Some might call it backwards in the sky. And the beginning and the end is the period of time when Mercury is moving direct over that same period of sky. And so we start out Scorpio season with what some people call the retro shade or the pre-retrograde shadow. And this is a phase that also begins just a day after a new moon in Libra. Mercury's retrograde will begin in Sagittarius. That's actually where Mercury stations retrograde around the middle of Scorpio season near November 9th. But Mercury's shade, retrograde shadow, and retrograde cycle will take it back into Scorpio. Mercury stations direct at 20 degrees of Scorpio at the end of November, after we've already gotten into Sagittarius season. So this retrograde really blurs the lines between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And you may know that Sagittarius is the sign that comes before yours. And so I feel that this retrograde is a really important one for you. in the symbolic landscape of this place in your chart, it has a lot to do with what you are being influenced by, the impacts and effects of the larger world, and also the ways that you, in your own consciousness, extend out beyond your personal life. And this retrograde is really wanting to bring some contemplation and reflection into some big picture landscapes of your life, and also into the more subtle spaces that really deeply influence how you perceive the world. So I'm giving you that astro information as we get going because my style tends to be more of a storytelling style. I like to think about how things feel and make the meaning that's meaningful for me. But I really wanted to give you that groundwork. Now, I'll also say that as we get into Scorpio season, the outer planet Neptune is moving back into Pisces. And this is a place where it has transited since 2011. This year, it made its first ingress into Aries. It just made it in the first few degrees. This retrograde is bringing it right back into the very end of Pisces. And over the course of Scorpio season, there is a lot that is happening in the water element between Neptune in Pisces, between Saturn, your ruling planet, also in Pisces. Saturn will be preparing to station direct in the very first days of Sagittarius season. So the last weeks of Scorpio season, Saturn is just lingering in the sky, really kind of emphasizing the place that it is in Pisces. And then we also have the planet Jupiter transiting your opposite sign, Cancer. And so over the course of Scorpio season, there is a lot that is happening in the water signs and the water element. Okay, I'm going to leave most of the astro info there. I wanted to tell you that. I'll probably sprinkle in a couple other little details. Let's get into the meaning making of it all. So listen with your own intuition. Always make the meaning that is meaningful for you. Capricorn, oh my gosh, it feels like you are really needing to tune in with your vision for the world and what is possible for you right now. Now, I want to encourage you to contemplate, to meditate, to reflect on the ways that your perspective actually really shapes your possibilities. How you see things has everything to do with how you will act in the world and in your life. And what you concentrate and focus on has everything to do with how you feel in your body, in your relationships. It has everything to do with your actions and your choices. And I feel that a lot is coming up for you right now that is asking you to really pay attention to your perspective and to how you are perceiving the world. And I really want to say that I think that other people are an important aspect of the world right now that you want to clarify in your perspective. Capricorn is such an amazing sign. Let me just say that first and foremost. I tell you this all the time, Capricorn, that some of my best friends are Capricorns. I love you guys. I just love your energy. I think you're hilarious. I love your sense of humor. And, you know, they say about Capricorns that Capricorns can be kind of cranky. And I don't know if you've ever encountered a goat because they are one of your totem animals. But goats are kind of cranky, too, or like they have that affect. I don't know how they feel inside themselves, but they can be kind of like, right? And like, I feel like Capricorns can kind of be like that sometimes. Saturn is your ruling planet. Saturn is an energy that has a lot to do with obstruction and challenge and maturation. And many Capricorns, I'm just going to go out there with the audacity to say that I think all Capricorns had to grow up before they were ready, didn't really get a chance to be like totally playful children, just living a life of innocence and, la. I think that a lot of you have been through really trying circumstances. You had to get old when you were young. And this can lead to a kind of sense of perspective that is a little bit ready to like see the downfall in things. It's like some Capricorns, I'm not saying this is you, but some Capricorns have a tendency to assume the worst, or to get ready for the worst, or like you have a strong sense of judgment. And you are supported by this because I think it's really part of your wisdom. A lot of times it helps you out, but sometimes it just really doesn't. And I feel that this season is a season that is asking you to really pay attention to the ways that you might be spinning negative stories about other people, about other people's potentials, and about the world in general, particularly as it is created and recreated by human beings. Now, as I say that, I am aware that we are living through times that are brutal, where human beings, in some regards, have absolutely done the worst possible job and are making some of the worst possible choices and really accelerating intensely devastating circumstances. I'm also aware that a lot of people are completely checked out, numbed out, not acting in ways that are positive and beneficial at all. And there is a lot to feel really concerned about and pretty disheartened by within the human landscapes. That is not the whole story, though. And the thing about human beings is that we contain mirror neurons, and we are really sensitive to each other's vibration. I work as a psychic and intuitive, and I'm pretty consistently kind of feeling into larger collective pulses. And you can believe this or not, but I believe that we can transmit feeling tone to people whether or not they are in space with us. We definitely can when we are in space with people. You know, people know when you have a vibe with them. If you're like, yeah, I don't trust you, even if you're acting cheerful on the outside, they will be able to feel that and register that information in their bodies. My feeling in your chart right now is that you need to locate your own sense of optimism and hope. And in order for you to do that, you actually need to allow yourself to feel grief and despair. It is a period of time where there's a lot to grieve and there is so much to despair about. And there are many reasons to feel negative and to feel angry. And yet, there are reasons for hope. If you cannot locate hope within a human landscape, I hope that you can locate it within the intelligences of the universe itself and with this incredible planet Earth that we are so blessed to be a part of and living with. If you cannot locate hope within human consciousness and human design and strategy, I hope that you can locate hope within the strategy of nature, which is constantly evolving and adapting and changing. And over the course of billions of years, continues to create and recreate itself. It feels that many of you need to really give yourself to some kind of process of spiritual surrender. It feels like this is a time that is asking you to let go of a sense of control and also to let go of your attachments to your personal preferences. It might not work out in the way that you want it to, but I have news for you, Capricorn. Any of us as individuals trying to impose our ideas about what would be the best for everybody is dictatorship, right? It is autocracy. It's like we can see in the world that it's not helpful because one person or one group of people does not have all the intel on what everybody needs, and that includes you, as wise as you are. So it really feels like this is a period of time that is inviting you to let go of your cherished ideals. And this includes for your own lifetime. It includes for the earth. It includes for all of your relationships. It includes for your job, and it includes for everything, even if things are really good right now, because I think that some of you are having a great time. But this sense of surrender is in and of itself actually such a generosity. It's such a gift, and it opens you into a place of curiosity and possibility. If you are not attached to the outcome that you think would be the best outcome, then you get to open the doors to all of the other possibilities that are out there. And I promise you, it is not a binary set of possibilities. If you don't get the outcome you want, it is not going to be exactly the opposite outcome that you can define. Most likely, it's going to be something you haven't even imagined. And it feels to me that you need to make offerings to the divine beings of absurdity right now. It's like you got to relax your brain. You got to relax your consciousness. You have to give it up to some kind of larger force and greater intelligence that has some kind of movement that is more creative and more circuitous than you can possibly follow. Now, this also feels like a period of time in which you really want to be sensitive and take care of your sensitivities, because things are happening in ways that are actually a lot more energetic than they are material right now. But what is happening in the energetic plane very quickly becomes the material plane. And I feel that a lot of you are having an experience right now that almost is like you're moving through a dream. And this is definitely going to continue into Sagittarius season, that life is kind of like a dream. And you may have had the experience in dreams where in your dreaming consciousness, you think about something and then all of a sudden you're transported towards what you've been thinking about, or the landscape of the dream changes. And I'm going to propose that your life is a little bit like that right now. And so I think that you can observe this most clearly in the realms of relationships. You might be having experiences right now where you think about someone and then they call, right? Or you have some kind of thought emerge while you're talking to someone and then they talk to you about that thing. It might be a useful imagination for you to play around with right now, that there are no secrets, that everything that you feel and everything that you think can somehow be known by those who are around you and they're connected with you. And this includes people who are directly in your presence as well as people who are far away. And so if everything was known, then you wouldn't need to be worried at all about being totally honest. And in that, we come back to your perception. And here's the question of what is actually your honesty, what is actually your truth, versus what is your fear and what is your judgment. Now, it is said in some of the Buddhist studies that I've contemplated that the close enemy of wisdom is doubt. And I feel that this is a direct message for Capricorns, because there is a way that wisdom gets clouded by doubt, and doubt masquerades as wisdom. And the feeling here is that something is like tin. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the light that you are looking through has a particular tint, and you think that that's real, but it's not real. And I feel that some of you are looking through the hue of doubt right now. You are doubting other people. You're doubting the future. You are doubting yourself. But that is not going to lead you to the actual possibility of what wants to come through right now. Now, some of you may be listening to me and you're like, Renee, this is old news. I already did this. I've processed this. I'm on the other side of that. Because this is also something that is not new for you. And I think that definitely in the last year to 3 years, if not longer, you've been pretty aware of these patterns and you've been trying to change them. And there are a lot of influences right now that are really supporting you to open your mind and to see the possibility that is there for you, that is there for the world, and that is there for your relationships. But some of you are still in this sticky spot. And over the course of Scorpio season, there are some reasons why this doubt would become a lot more intense. When we move from the full moon to the new moon, I feel that a lot of you are going to feel like a wave of doubt coming in. So we have the full moon on November 5th. Now, the full moon on November 5th feels very expansive and full of possibility. And I think in your charts especially. And I think that a lot of you are feeling motivated and energized. And there's some kind of idea about this is the way, or this is the thing, or it's like you've got a lot of energy coming in. But then within like the next week, so getting into kind of this station retrograde moment, Mercury stationing retrograde, Jupiter stationing retrograde between the 9th, 11th or so of November, doubt sets in. And by the time we get to the Scorpio new moon on November 19th, there is like an intensity in the atmosphere. There might be some big global moments, as we have been experiencing now for a long time, that really lend themselves to feeling doubt and feeling negative or feeling a sense of doom. And this is the crux of it right here. I feel for you, Capricorn, especially around the new moon in Scorpio, November 19th. That I really need you to be concentrating on the power of your thought and your intention and your perspective and what you are putting out into the world. It is true that we are living through times that could be described as hellish and insane and completely absurd and lacking of all possible meaning. So many examples of like total void of ethics. That is not all there is. And if that is what you are focusing on and that is what you are concentrating on, then that is the energy that is going to build in you. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be discerning. It doesn't mean that you don't need to be cautious and aware and protect yourself or protect others. In fact, I think that a lot of you are really feeling motivated right now to protect what you love and who you care about. And this is a period of time, I will also say, that is really a period of time that is asking you to put yourself out there and maybe put yourself on the line to protect others. If you are living in a body that ICE is not trying to kidnap right now, then maybe you are actually feeling compelled to disrupt, to resist, to put your body on the actual line for something. That's an example. But I cannot stress this enough. See the good in people. See the good in yourself. See what is beautiful and valuable and totally worth protecting and preserving and believing in. And you don't need to only believe that, right? Like the whole world is happening around you, but that's what you want to focus on, and that's what you want to point your clarity towards, and that's what you want to intend, and that's what you want to feed into your relationships on the most immediate local levels and beyond. How you conduct yourself in relationships, how you communicate, how you meet others right now, and the perspective that you have as a vibe and an energy that you share with your general environments has big impacts in Scorpio season. Your communication has intensified. Your mind has intensified. There is a lot that is shifting in your perspectives right now, and you need to understand the power of your own consciousness. Now, as I've already said probably multiple times, the power of your own consciousness cannot change the entire world, but it can really profoundly influence the world inside you and the world around you. And your energy right now is alchemical. You are creating the conditions that your future will emerge from. And if you're focusing on the negative, that is setting yourself up to miss choices that would lead you in the direction of the positive. And that's not what I want for you. I want you to be seeing your opportunities right now. I want you to be expanding into your pathways for growth. So, Capricorn, what I need to tell you is that your feelings are important to feel. You do not need to gaslight yourself. You don't need to shove that, negativity or fear or whatever might be emerging for you, like under the rug or whatever they say. You need support for it. You need places to process. You need space to spill out without making all of your feelings facts that just have to live in perpetuity. Journal. Talk to therapists. This is an amazing time for you to talk with friends. This is also a really great time for you to do community building work, coalition building work, solidarity, strengthening work. Be with groups of people who are embodying and enacting the kinds of ways of being and relating with one another that can give you hope. I talk to a lot of people who are really negative about the state of the world, and I will tell you that every single one of those people who are super negative are very isolated in their negativity. The people who I know who are out there organizing, who are working with groups of people, tend to be more positive. Even if those are people who are actually really in the trenches and struggling quite a bit, there's positivity because there's collectivism, there's community, and there's really a sense of hope in the relationships with people who are aligned in their values. And this is what I feel is most supportive for you at this time. So if you are a Capricorn who is feeling negative, it's not all of you out there, then you might also be a Capricorn who's feeling isolated. If that is you, my friend, make a friend. Get yourself out. Go meet some people. Find places to connect with other folks who are organizing around things that you feel are important. That will give you a boost. Now, I've spent a lot of time myself in this reading kind of dwelling on the negative. That's definitely some of the feelings that I'm having coming up. But I don't feel that way for you guys. What I really feel for Capricorn is that you are entering a very exciting new period of growth in your life, and that what is happening for you is that you are alchemically transforming your consciousness so that you can experience the world in different ways. I feel that a lot of you already know and feel what I'm saying, and you've been working on it and you've been practicing it, and you are actually a lot more relaxed in your brain and consciousness now than you ever have been. And you're like, yeah, I've let go and I'm in the flow and I'm connecting with what's beautiful around me. And the things that are not so beautiful, like I know that they're there, and I'm consciously directing my will and intention. The more that you do that, Capricorn, particularly as we move into the next decade plus, the more you build a life that is deeply supportive for you and all that you are in relationship with. And so the last message that I want to give you for Scorpio season is that your relationships right now have so much potential to blossom and flourish. And what they need from you is really intentional presence and authenticity and integrity. The more that you can allow yourself to connect in real ways with your own feelings, the more that you will be able to connect in real ways with others and with what they're going through. My feeling is that you are really looking for a depth and particular kind of caliber in your emotional bonds right now. And this includes friends, it includes partners, it includes anyone who might be part of your community or communities that you move through. And the ways that you resonate with other people right now have a lot of potential to build long-term stability and bonds and to grow in ways that I think will be very liberating for you and very mobilizing for your life in really wonderful ways. So I am not quite done. The last thing that I want to say is I want to ask you to, one more time, really focus on your mind and focus on your communication. And I want to invite you to consider that your words are spells. And what you speak is a vibratory quality that attracts material towards it. It resonates into existence. And you don't even need to speak out loud. How you think and how you speak to yourself is just as powerful as the words that you are uttering into space. In Scorpio season, speak to yourself, about other people, and about the world in ways that fill your body and your nervous system with a sense of care. Notice the power of your thoughts and your words. Your mind immediately translates to your body and to your felt sense. If you are running scripts in your mind, speaking to yourself, or having thoughts about others, and you notice that your body feels tight or clenched, or you feel shut down, or your energy feels guarded or aggressive or something like that, that is a clue. How can you use your mind and use your language to influence the state of your body so that the stories that you really want to be telling have more opportunity to be told? Okay? Okay. Capricorn, in Sagittarius season, I am going to give you a guided journey and reflection, working with a lot of these themes. As I've already talked about, there are some important retrograde motions that are moving through our consciousness right now, moving through the skies. And Sagittarius as an energy is an energy that likes to journey. It is also the sign that comes before yours. And whenever we're working in that place in the chart, we are really supported to work with imagination and visualization and dreaming. So I want to encourage you to come back next month. And if you are a regular listener to Embodied Astrology, thank you for being here. If you're a new listener and this reading has resonated for you, please subscribe, set your notifications, sign up for my mailing list, and come back next month for Sagittarius season, because we're going to be working with a little bit of magic in that season to help you integrate and collect and recollect some of the big important lessons from these retrograde journeys. And I'm going to flow into that now in this recording, and that is why I'm letting you know. Capricorn, thank you for being here. I am wishing you all the best in Scorpio season and beyond. Bye for now. Psst, one more thing. It's me again. Thank you so much for listening. If you're still here and you enjoyed your reading so much that you want to play around with embodied astrology with me, join me sometime for my weekly virtual class, Somatic Space. You can catch me live on Zoom every Monday, where we tune in with the lunar cycle, solar season, and transits for the week ahead, and work with gentle mind, heart, body practices that prepare us to meet what's coming with skill and with style. There's also more going on at Embodied Astrology, including a lovely community, bi-weekly chart reading study groups, and seasonal workshops such as this season's 4-session series with Saed Mansour, Dancing the Political. This series is going to be super powerful with what's coming up in Scorpio season and this 2-month long-lasting Grand Trine in Water. Y'all, this is definitely a time when we need to be as engaged as possible in ways that are also transformative and self-reflective. And that is what Saed's work is all about. And that is what we are all about here at Embodied Astrology. So if you want to learn more about his series, Somatic Space, and what's happening on our calendar here at EA, you can find all the links, you know where, and also visit us at embodiedastrology.com. Okay, that's really all. Bye for now.